If you wanted to hear some jackass complain about the Souls games, then you've come to the right place. I'm going to attempt something never before seen on YouTube. I'm going to make a video essay about Dark Souls. That's right, we're going into no man's land with this one. My revolutionary video will be about the difficulty of upper level enemies in the Souls games. Doesn't sound too interesting? Well, hear me out. FromSoft is famous for their monster design. Their range of enemies and movesets are nothing short of peak. Among the hundreds of enemies in their catalog, there exists a select few I absolutely refuse to engage with. Whether it be from pure hatred or uncontrollable fear, there are only 12 FromSoft enemies I avoid at all cost. I've separated these 12 enemies into 3 categories, the first of which I call the pests. The pest enemies are typically animals that are full of BS moves. They're not fun to fight at all and are usually a cheap way for the game to steal a flask or two. These guys are designed to be as annoying as possible. The best example of this in Elden Ring are the lobsters. Holy moly, I've killed Millennia more times than I've killed these guys. They have an insane amount of health, they always spawn in packs, and for some reason they're the only enemy in the game with a sniper. Like, for real, these guys are like prime Kenny S. It's ridiculous. Moving on to Dark Souls 2. There's no criticism about DS2 that hasn't already been said like 100 times, but if I could choose one enemy that sums up this game's encounters, it would have to be the poison statues. Just plain lazy. They control V'd these things throughout this narrow hallway. I mean, sure they're one shot, but every time they hit you with their blow darts, it staggers and poisons you. I would rather watch Brokeback Mountain with Jeffrey Dahmer than go down that hallway again. It's awful. But I have to give FromSoft B Team some credit, however. They very well could have made the statues have insane evasive maneuvers, but they didn't. Unlike the Gru Leaper from DS3. The Gru Leaper spawns in everyone's favorite area of the game, the poison swamp of Farron Keep. While you're trying to navigate the thick sludge to exterminate the 3 fires required to progress, this abomination hunts you. It leaps into the air, smashing down, or grabs you. That's it. It has other moves, but the game's AI just spams those 2 endlessly. Before I go to the next section, I would regret not mentioning dogs. All of them. Across all games. Especially the teleporting dogs outside the Cathedral of the Deep. Awful experience. 10 out of 10 masterpiece. The second category is called Bikini Bottom, because this is where all the damage sponges live. These guys are incredibly time-consuming fights that always leave you with very little resources to comfortably make your way to the next bonfire. They have health bars the size of Texas and punish the smallest mistakes with a 90% decrease in health. No biggie. A few of them are just respawning mini-bosses. We'll talk about that in a sec. The first of the big boys are the skeleton beasts from DS1. They're big, mean fighting machines. But worst of all, unless you have a torch, you fight them in total darkness, and there's a chance they push you off the map. There's zero incentive for staying to kill them. It's a total waste of time. Next, we got the Sentinels from Anor Londo, another Dark Souls 1 enemy. They're fodder, just a complete waste of time. Super basic moveset, super basic design, runtime padding, nothing burgers. People remember Anor Londo for the archers, Smo, and breasts. That's it. Another example of the beefy knight enemy are the fatty knights from DS3. I actually love these guys, but again, there's no incentive to fighting them. Aside from the 3 at the very end of the game, they drop very few souls. I love their armor, large sweeping attack, and especially the huge rapture beams they spam when you get a little too close. But again, the risk-reward ratio is just abysmal. The last entry in the damage sponges has no risk to reward ratio. Like the wooden octagon of Street Beef's, Pride is the only reward. The absolute worst offender has to be the Divine Warriors from the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, specifically the Divine Beast Warrior. This meathead was harder than almost every other boss in the DLC besides Radahn. He has a boss's entrance, a boss's health bar, and a boss's moveset. So once I killed him, I was relieved I would never have to see him again. Nope. The guy actually respawns. It makes no sense. The last enemy type I wanted to whine about are the guys that are doing too much. These guys are basically people that take board games too seriously. Like, you'll pick up a mushroom and then out of nowhere be met with like a regular mob and think, okay, let's get this out of the way and head to a bonfire. You'll swing at the guy, thinking he's normal. He then sidesteps the broadsword and hits you with like the waterfowl dance. Like, who are you? The worst example of this has got to be this lunatic, the Elder Monkey. This dude's scary. He's got like mad sexual predator vibes going on. I don't like it. At a glance, he's nothing special, then you realize he's standing like a regular dude, and he's holding not one, but 2 katanas. Who is you? What led to this point? What the hell is this guy's backstory? I need the VaatiVidya file on this guy, like right now. What the hell is this? Every other animal in this game is an animal, but this guy knows like real moves. It's freaky. I don't like it. For the sake of redundancy, I'm going to combine the next two since they're both also from Sekiro and super similar. These guys are the Nightjar Ninja and the Basket Heads. The Nightjar Ninjas are just super annoying. They do negligible damage aside from the kamikaze dude. The only real challenge is that almost all of this specific type of enemy is guarding Ashina Castle. So if you choose to clear this entire area, that's at least like a 20-minute commitment to non-stop combat. The Basket Heads, on the other hand, are a dozen a dime. They're truly the only enemy I think I have never killed even once. When they move, my brain goes into like power save mode. Everything's a blur. They're quick, acrobatic with long-range attacks. When I look under my bed, I don't see the boogeyman. It's these fellas I see. These freaks. The final enemy I want to talk about in this video is a Sekiro enemy inside of Dark Souls, the Corvian Knights. To put it simply, they're sharp. They look like they're going to cut you, and by God, you can judge a book by its cover. Daggers, claws, throwing knives, you name it. These monsters will slice you up from any distance. The cherry on top is they always sneak attack you. It's never a fair or fun time with Corvian Knights. Just monsters. The biggest problem with the high tier enemies in between bosses and bonfires is it feels like you're chasing the silver medal. Like, they're really cool, but they're not the best the game has to offer. There's often very little reward for going out of your way to fight them. Even if you want the pride in knowing you overcame a challenge, you can get that satisfaction tenfold from the boss of that area. Like, why would you want to talk to Robin when Batman's right there? It just doesn't make any sense. For the most part, the only purpose that these guys serve is to be farmed. That's the only practical reason why these guys exist. They all give a decent amount of creds relative to their section of the game. Grinding a high tier enemy for the souls is a decent trade-off. I remember killing the 3 golden fatty knights over and over again just so I can level up one more time. It was pretty fun. I still can't shake the feeling that there's some missing link that would make fighting these enemies worthwhile. I feel like there's one thing that can be changed that would make these enemies from being a low point to a highlight. But then again, if you were always rewarded for a job well done, these games probably wouldn't be popular. So, I'm just a guy on the internet. What do I know? This is a smaller channel, so if you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. But if you didn't like what you saw, leave a hate comment. I encourage you to do so. Like, I look at that stuff and I don't take personally. Like, I just take the criticism for what it is. So if you have something to say, like, don't hesitate. Anyways, that's all I got. Take care.